Welcome everybody to Sasa and Goff live recorded. I'm Sasha.
I'm Goff.
And this is week 4. We made it. 4 weeks.
4 weeks,
of
baby.
This thing. That is almost a month or a month, depending on how long the month is.
Yeah.
But generally about a month. We did it. We're here. We're back. We have new clothes. The weather has changed. I mean, things are going good. How are you feeling this week?
I'm feeling pretty good, buddy. A little warm, but
A little toasty.
yeah, a little
It's
toasty.
toasty in here. I should turn on the air conditioning.
It's all right.
But you know what? We have a leak in our AC anyway, so it doesn't really do much.
And the house might blow up.
It may.
Then we'd lose this recording.
Yeah, we can't
So
risk
no
that.
AC.
So toasty it is.
Yeah.
I have an interesting story for you. I think you're gonna like it.
I would love to hear it. Let's go.
So, my dearest of dear friends, you know him as Bishop.
Okay. I do.
He was in town this week, and I got to see him, which is cool.
Nice.
He lives in Florida. I don't know if I'm giving away too much.
I did not know he
information.
lived in Florida. Wow.
Yeah, so it's rare that he comes up here, and he brought his daughters, who are my goddaughters. So it's very cool to see them and to see them grow up, and every time they're a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And it's fun. They're fun to be around. They're like good kids.
Mhm.
I assume like your kids. They're good to
They're like the same age as that. I
They
believe,
are.
actually.
I think
Yeah,
they're
it's
like
crazy.
yeah, like 3 months apart or
Yeah.
6 months or something like that.
Mhm.
11 and 9. Is
Yeah,
that?
mine are 12 and 9.
Yeah, there it is. So they were in town, and they all came over actually by my parents' house, and we were hanging out. And like I'm the godfather to the kids, right? So like we had a godfather. He was not my godfather, but he is Bishop's godfather. His
Okay.
name was Steve. I call him my Uncle Steve. He's not really my uncle, but he's like
Yeah.
I consider my uncle.
Yeah, absolutely.
He passed away years ago, but he's the whole reason all of us got into pro wrestling when we were young.
Okay.
I mean, he's the cool uncle.
So he's a legend.
He's a legend. And if it was your birthday, he was the first person you would get a call from in the morning. It's just like on top of it as a godfather.
Okay.
Me, on the other hand, you know me. I'm a questionable character at best. I do my
At
best.
best, yeah.
I do my best. I do care a lot, and I do what I can. But one thing that Steve used to always do, like on birthdays or whatever, he would come over. It wasn't just birthdays, but he would bring like a big chocolate bar,
Okay.
and he'd give you some scratch-off tickets,
Nice.
like $20 or whatever. And he was always just like,
Yeah.
enjoy whatever. And as a kid, what else can you ask for? you
Yeah.
know? So that's like kind of like what I do is I bring them a chocolate bar. I give them cash usually. I don't think I've ever done the scratch-off tickets until I saw them this week.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm gonna do
Kids
that.
are ready to gamble.
It's time to learn.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
11 and 9.
Yes.
This is it's a pastime. So like they come over. They actually brought me a chocolate bar as well, which
Nice.
was fantastic. I threw that down immediately. But I had this situation. So I had $100 bill,
Nice.
and I was like, okay, well, I have this 100. I'm at Jewel. I'm buying a candy bar, 2 candy bars or whatever. And I go and I pay these things, and as I'm leaving, I have a $100 bill, and I'm like, oh, they have a scratch-off lotto ticket. So I go, machine, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all over the place here. They have this machine, and you go and you push the buttons and the thing
Yeah.
come on. So I go, okay, let me go there. I got this 100. I'll get some change. I could give them some of the change. I can get them a scratch-off ticket. I go, whatever. I go over there, and I put the 100 into the thing.
And
I
see
get
where this is going.
I get 2 $5 games, right? So I'm like, here's a $5 scratch, here's a $5 scratch. They'll have a good time. I'm gonna throw them each $20 and whatever. And then I'm like, all right, well, how do you get change from this machine?
You don't.
And boy, what a wake up call that
Yeah.
was! At my knees, nay, my ankles.
Okay.
I will go ankles. There was a sign that says this machine doesn't give you
Wow.
change. All the way at the bottom of the
Oh,
machine.
man.
And so now I have $90 worth of credit in a machine that I have no interest in keeping my money in.
All right.
So I start looking around angry. And I'm like, which one of you Jewel employees is helping me out here? And there was a lady right there who knew exactly what had happened, an employee.
man.
And she goes, you need change, right? And I was like, yeah, what is this no change thing? Every machine you ever
Yeah.
put money into gives you change.
Yeah.
And she goes, it's like the Illinois lottery thing. We can't even open it. Like they have to open this thing. She goes, there's nothing we can do. You can try calling the number if you want it, but there's nothing you could do.
Yeah, I get it.
So I'm like furious, half like, I don't know, devastated. Like I don't want scratch off tickets, but now I'm at a point where I have to buy scratch off tickets. So then I'm in a situation where I go, okay, how do I make the best of
well
this?
Then,
right?
yeah, now it's like,
right?
Okay, here we go.
You go from anger to theory.
To strategizing, yes.
So I'm like, do I buy $91 tickets and then hope for as many $2
hope for
winners?
the machine to break.
Yeah, right? Or they have $30 games, right? I don't even know what those look like. And I'm like, I'm expecting this money to be lost anyway. Maybe with a $30 game, you have a better chance of winning.
I mean, at least something.
Yeah, like $5
or
or $10
ticket,
or something. So I buy 3 separate $30 games. Now, after I did this, I was like, I'm an idiot. I should have bought 3 in a row of one game. I would think better chance, you know, right?
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. So I take these things, I throw them in my car in like the middle console.
Center console.
I'm furious. I'm furious. I'm like,
so how many total did you have?
3 $30.
Okay, and then the 2 5s.
And then the 2 5s.
Okay.
Yeah. And so we go. I go hang out with them. We have lunch. We have a great time. You know, it was awesome. We hung out for like 3 hours.
Nice.
I didn't get called into work or anything. It was a great day. And then finally get called to work, but we were all kind of leaving anyway. Okay, so I have to go to work. I go to work. I pull into my work, and then I'm like, oh yeah, let me scratch off these things. Let me not, because I drive for a living. I don't want to start driving and then be like, oh, what about the scratch offs?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking about them. So I'm like, let me just get this over with. And I do the first one, and I lose. And I'm like, this is unbelievable.
$30.
$30 down the drain in like 20 seconds. It's not even a different game. Yeah. It's the same game as $1 ticket.
Jeez.
There's like a couple
the
more.
Stakes are higher, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like going through, and then the second one I go through, and I hit a $50 one.
There you go.
And I'm like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Life is good.
Oh, yeah.
I won half of it back. That was fun. And then I still have the third one. Maybe I win a couple bucks on this thing, and I scratch off the third one, $100.
Woo!
Now I'm up, and now I'm addicted to scratch off tickets.
Hell yeah.
No, but so I ended up $50
Damn.
on that thing, and I was just like, dude, never again. Like I know.
No, this means you got to keep buying the $30.
No, I can't. That's bad. I already buy basketball cards on occasion, and that's a bad enough hobby.
Congrats. So that's good, man.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, like, actually, I thought this was going a different way. I was gonna say, have you ever won anything like good? I mean, like with a. I don't think
$2 here, $5 here. I know people who have won $10 or $20, but nothing ever like big or whatever. So like, yeah, I was. The moral of the story is only play large scratchers if you're gonna play. So
man,
yeah, it ended up okay. I was like, all right, thank God.
Did you get the money back yet?
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
I did. I went to the thing and I was like, they better get, like, I need this transaction complete so that I feel better.
Let me ask you another question. Did you feel bad after you gave them each a $5 scratcher and you had $150?
I felt bad when I pushed the $5 games.
Yeah.
And then I was like, maybe I should have got more than a $5 game. But I was planning to give them money with the $5 game. Like, I wanted to introduce them to gambling and not get them hooked.
The $30 ones, yeah.
And so, no, not really. Yeah. But it was
Bishop would be, what'd you do to my kids?
Yeah, exactly. So that was a fun way to start my week or whatever.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm up. So
good stuff.
I'm quitting the flipping podcast that I do, and I'm just doing scratcher podcasts. So.
That could be very misconstrued, but it's just called Scratcher.
Scratcher.
See how many
people will be interested.
They might be.
What's going on in your world?
All right, so this is like this weird thing that is taking over my family, and it is the fear of eating undercooked chicken. Because
all right,
for what I know this is so random, but it's like, so we went to the Dells, like a month ago. And my wife's an amazing cook, but we're working with what we got there. Like, we had the kitchenette thing, in our room. It was real nice, but it's an electric stove.
Do you stay in a hotel or? Like
we stay at a hotel, but we get one that's essentially apartment. Like there's 2 bedrooms. Yeah. It could literally these rooms could comfortably fit 10 adults. No joke. I mean, they might be sleeping on couches, but still. Anyway, so she was working with an electric grill, and we're eating these hamburgers, and it's all me and my 2 daughters, all 3 of us are kind of kind of red on the inside. We're not really feeling this. So she's like, no, guys, that's okay. She keeps not trying to kill us with bad food, but she's like, it's okay if it's a little red. And we're all just like, no, wait, this is just
chicken.
No. This was burgers at the time.
Okay.
But this bleeds into now, and I've had this thing with chicken for quite a while, but it's weird and I feel bad because it's only if my wife is cooking the chicken where I'm like, I don't want to eat this. Okay. I'll eat chicken from Chipotle or whatever because I feel like if it's made there, I can sue their asses if I get sick.
This is a Joni issue then.
It's not, but it I don't know. I think even actually at my parents or whatever, I just don't like chicken. But the thing is now my girls are checking everything, and all of a sudden they're finding things that I feel terrible, and it's I'll even tell them, it's no, that's fine, you can eat that. It's well, maybe it's just a little more, but
they're you try, and you're no.
Yeah, and I'm well, I already tried some back there. But no, I mean, I don't know, that would kind of be an irrational fear, I guess, because I mean, food, I guess that's kind of, if you can get sick from undercooked chicken, but I mean, it's something that I think about all the time, and it's just
have you had an issue with undercooked chicken?
I mean, I'm one of those people, though, where it's if I'm eating, say I'm eating cereal and I eat a piece that's where there's 5 of them melded together, that'll ruin it for me and I'll dump the whole bowl out. If there's
It's messed up.
It is weird. But it's yes, I'm very sensory with food, too. So it's yes, if I bite into that first thing and it's I got a muscle, it's I don't want this. It's I don't want it. Which is weird because I love fat on steak.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know what it is with chicken, man.
My wife one time, Megan one time, we went to, I'm going to name drop it, Hula Hands, the name of this fabulous establishment. Love me some Hula Hands.
Yeah, there's one right by my house, but it's closed.
That's exactly the one that we went to.
Sucks. We used to go to that one, and then when we moved here, it's it's...
Used to love it. Large Long Island iced teas back in the day. They were cheap.
Yeah.
So she got some chicken there, cut into it. It was not cooked at all. Is this something? No, it was uncooked chicken. And they comped us and all that kind of stuff. And so I could see if that happened to you, you then being I am checking every morsel of chicken. But we do that too. Megan, when she makes chicken, she temperature with the thing. She's is this cooked? She's always asking me, is this cooked enough? And I'm it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Because she does the thing now where she's overcooking the chicken out of fear that it's undercooked.
Yeah.
I feel chicken, as long as it's mostly cooked, you're okay. But once you have a gristle or something like that, then I'm with you. You're and then you really start to nitpick what's in there.
Yeah, because I love...
It's a weird eating habit, though, to be
Well, chicken, turkey, all that stuff. I mean, it's gross. I mean, we're literally, whatever.
Meat is gross. Yeah. I don't want to get on the whole thing.
Okay.
But I think meat is pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
I do eat it.
It's so delicious, though.
I was a vegetarian for 5 years.
Good for you.
I just want the people to know that I'm better than them.
Yeah.
But
I feel you are.
I'm just too lazy to continue that sort of lifestyle. But
probably just got too expensive, too.
No.
God, you could go to McDonald's and order a salad versus
it got
seriously.
Boring. It got boring.
Yeah.
Is what it is. You go to a restaurant and you're can I have a side of fries? And you don't even want the fries, but that's the only vegetarian thing they have.
Yeah.
I like to eat chicken and turkey.
Can I have a bowl of ranch dressing?
I eat chicken and turkey because I don't like birds. So if birds are gonna die, I'm okay with that.
There you go.
But I don't really eat too much red meat.
That's a great endorsement.
Steak and I do like burgers, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't eat them too often.
No, pork chops and anything like that?
No, nothing like ribs and stuff like that. I'm not really into that.
Okay.
Give me turkey burger. Give me grilled chicken.
Do you like lamb?
I do. Only rarely, if it's our Easter, Serbian, and you guys celebrate Greek.
Greek, yes.
The
Greek.
Inferior Easter, but yeah,
I'm not gonna fight you on this one.
But also, I only like certain pieces of the lamb because if it's like the burnt ends part of it.
So do you like a chop or do you like a?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, I guess a chop would be like a strip.
If something is
like
crispier,
tips, you know? Okay.
I like whatever's crispier.
Me too. Yeah.
That's
When it's
okay.
sort of charred.
We there's a restaurant by our house. We just had like lamb meatballs recently that were really good, and it's perfectly fine. But I'm not actively seeking out lambs.
Yeah.
And I don't support the death of
lamb. Lambs would be plural, I think.
So I don't actively seek out the death of lambs, but birds, kill them all. Yeah. I say.
See, I used to be that way, and strangely enough, it was COVID that actually got me to start appreciating birds, because I think, like many people, was just staring out the window a lot, just like, this sucks, and it's like, huh. What are those birds? Oh, those are cowbirds, and they're invading our country. It's like, but now that I love being out in my yard. It's like, yeah, dude, cardinals and stuff. It's like, I saw an oriole in my parents' backyard, though. That was pretty awesome.
This is an old man thing, because about a year, maybe a little longer than that, I started getting into like bird watching, and I bought a thing, and we hung it outside our kitchen, and I would watch, and they would come like.
Wait, was that one of the ones you see on like social media where it's like a box kind of?
Not like on our window, but like we had a pear tree that was right there, so it would just hang from there, and I would watch the birds, and they would fight each other to like get the stuff, and then a squirrel came, and I was like, I love nature.
This is great, yeah.
Yeah, rabbits, squirrels. We have a chipmunk back there.
Yeah.
I tore the tree down. The birds have nowhere else to go.
They're having such a great time, so I burned it down.
But I feel I think more of birds now than I did before, but I'll still eat them. I'll still eat all the birds.
That's a great line. It's like, I think about them a lot more, but I'll fucking eat them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's great.
All right. Well, you want to put stuff in each other?
Yeah, let's talk about I don't know, recommendations, other kind of stuff we got, or not, just what we've been consuming lately. I'll start off. The Boys. Have you heard of this show? It's on Amazon.
No.
All right, so The Boys is it's on its 4th season. This is a huge show. That's why I was kind of asking if you maybe even just like come across it. But it's a superhero show, but it's like corrupt superheroes. So it's like the world, we have these superheroes, and they're essentially like owned by this giant company. And it's like, you can literally, like, we're in the Chicagoland area. It's like, man, crime's getting bad. We can reach out and be like, hey, we need a Batman, essentially. And they're like, okay, well, for $2 million, we'll send you. And
Is
this guy,
a comedy?
No. Well, there's comedic things.
Okay.
It's more so like a shock and awe show, I would say, because these superheroes, like I said, like some of them are good, but for the most part, they're just like, behind, they kill people. They're horrible. They're all sex addicts, everything. So this show is it's like NC-17 almost always. Not just with nudity, but I mean like the violence is just like jaw-dropping at times. Really? And then even a lot of the stuff, it's getting to the point though, in which what I was going to kind of talk about with this season that's going on now, almost kind of like with The Bear, what I talked about last week. It just feels like it's just spinning its wheels. It's like, and they just announced that there's going to be one more season. So now it's like, well, I feel like there's no stakes in this season then, because we've all been waiting. It's like, there's certain characters, it's like, all right, this guy has to die. And now it's like, well, okay, so I guess the next 3 or 4 episodes of this season are just like whatever.
That's interesting. I never thought of that, like announcing another season could affect how you
I mean, like
it.
if they would have, I mean, granted, when they finished this season, we would have known by the ending. It's like, okay, is this done or is it still going? But yeah, just right when they announced that, I kind of already was like, oh, all right. So
is there anybody in this like?
Oh yeah,
notable?
There's. Elizabeth Shue was in the first season.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more like Dennis Quaid's son, Jack Quaid. He's in it. Carl Urban. Trying to think if he was in any wrestling movies.
Keith Urban's son.
Yeah, no.
We're big country music fans.
Yeah, absolutely, we are. But anyway, so that show, just a lot of fun. I don't. Again, I know you're not a big superhero guy, but it's more.
No, that's. I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
Another thing
Amazon,
I was going to say, it's on Amazon, okay. For free, obviously. But another thing with the show, though, is that right now in this season, there's an election going on. And, so I should say Seth Rogen and his partner, Evan Gold, not his romantic partner, his collaborative partner, they're, like, behind this show. So, like, think Seth Rogen comedies, like a lot of those. So there's a lot of that in here too, but it actually is very well written. But the thing though, with this season, they're pulling so many headlines just from our world and just using them like, and it's just kind of like, I get it, but it's like, I turn on like the news when I want to watch the news.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like so
better to get away from it.
Yeah, so this show is they're doing so much of the stuff with Trump versus Biden, and it's like they're using a lot of the terminology, and the show's creator is very heavily leaned in one way and isn't like afraid to show that. So it's turning a lot of people off too, I think, whereas in the first few seasons it was more ambiguous, where now it's just like, oh, we're definitely making fun of this side or this, you know.
Yeah.
And then this is another weird one, kind of like last week's Silver Bullet Hose. This is a food item, actually, and it's the Aldi All-American Cheesecake Sampler. So again, with the 4th of July, you know, like we go to so many different stores just for whatever. I mean, there's a Walmart, a Target, a Pete's, all this stuff right by us. So we're just like, every once in a while, it's like, all right, let's just try Aldi, see what they got. We found a cheesecake, baby. This thing's good. Now, I don't know how long it's going to be on the shelves because it's the All-American, so it might have just been for, like, 4th of July, but you can bet next year, baby. I'll be back.
This is hilarious because I assumed this entire segment would just be, like, TV shows.
Yeah, no,
like
honestly, I was thinking it's like, there's a bunch of stuff I could talk about that I watched throughout the week, but it's like, oh, I threw this movie on. But
I enjoy this. I very much enjoyed this and the Silver Bullet Hose.
Yeah, even though it wasn't what you wanted at first. But
I just didn't understand it, and now it's possibly my favorite part of this show.
All right, but yeah, no, it's awesome because it's like there's like 12 slices, and you know, one is just regular cheesecake, the other's got strawberry topping, and then blueberry. It's wonderful.
Excellent.
Do you like fruit? You a fruit guy?
Yeah.
My wife calls me fruity all the time.
Yeah, I've heard that.
She does. That's not a joke.
No.
It's like...
No, fruit's good. I don't eat enough, probably.
What's your favorite?
That's for another show. Top 3 fruits.
Okay.
Carrot.
Because I know mine, but... Anyway, all right, so...
I don't know mine. I need time to study.
Cool.
By the way, we haven't mentioned it, but this show is going to be top 3 hip-hop artists. If that's what you came from. I mean, 4. And I'm going to have a difficult time with this one.
Yeah. I am too, obviously.
Okay,
but before we get to that, though,
all right,
what are you putting inside yourself?
I got 2 comedy specials that I watched recently that I'm actually going to recommend. I thought they were both good in their own way. One is from a guy named Kenny Deforest. It's called Don't You Know Who I Am? He dead. Kenny Deforest is dead.
Like, since you watched this special, or?
I watched the special because I found out he died.
Okay.
Like, I heard people talking about him and saying, go watch his special. He's dead, you know.
When did he pass?
Within the last year.
Oh, okay.
So I think he's originally a Chicago guy who moved to New York to be, like, comedian or whatever. And I think he was in a bicycle accident, possibly something where, like, I don't want to speculate, but I heard other comedians talking, so I'm just saying what they said. But I don't know if it was like a situation where somebody opened the door and he like flipped over or something, but wasn't wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
So he ended up dying of brain-related injuries.
Terrible way to go, man.
Yeah.
Just thinking about hitting your head that hard.
And of course, like, you know, when somebody dies, everybody's going to be like, he's the nicest person of all time. But this is one of those people who everybody was like, no. He like legitimately was always.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, it's like one of those people, you know. So then I watched his special, and I loved it because it turns out that he played like AAU basketball as a child. So like once he's in basketball stuff, I'm paying attention. And he was very funny. It's a very good special. Once again, Kenny Deforest, Don't You Know Who I Am?
What's that on?
I think it's free on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's very good. It's very well done. And I'm sad that I didn't know him before he passed. You know, like sometimes you watch something of somebody who passed and then you find out about them.
It's for me, it's like when I'm a band I'm trying to get into, and it's like, oh, they broke up already. It's like, oh, so I can only hear their worst stuff or their, when they stop. But yeah, I gotcha.
And then the other one is another Chicago comedian. His name is Joe Kilgallon. It's I believe it was his last special, Life and Death. I'll say it came out like 6 months ago. It's a 30-minute special. I believe it's also a YouTube thing. And I saw him open once for Steve Byrne. Do you remember Steve Byrne? Yeah. And he was excellent. He was very funny. He's like Irish Catholic Chicago.
Okay.
So I'm guessing big family, but like loud, aggressive.
Okay.
Tells you his stories about drinking and getting into fights and that kind of stuff. Very funny, very funny. He's got a podcast as well. I wish I knew the name of it. Kilgallon's Pub, I think is what it used to be. I don't know if that's the same thing. But anyway, he's very funny. He plays all over Chicago. So if you get a chance to see him or whatever, I recommend it. This special, Life and Death, is a special that I think he did after his dad had passed away.
Okay.
So his dad passed away. He has 2 young kids. They got to meet his dad, obviously, and grandpa. They loved him. And then he passed away. I don't know if it was like a tragic passing, like they didn't know what was going to happen or whatever. But so he kind of like interweaves, his experiences with that and his life now and the kids and stuff like that. And then the pictures after the special, you can see, it's pictures of his dad and whatever.
That's cool.
So it like hits a heartstring and it's funny or whatever. But
so with like these shows, just because I don't watch that much stand up. I mean, like, are these guys generally like clean or like?
No,
because that's what I wonder sometimes. I think most comedians do swear, but it's like, when you can find like a Norm Macdonald type, that do their weird. I know, not saying he didn't, but I mean when he just tells those jokes, like the ones that are just literal.
Yeah,
and it's like I know there's some comedians out there that can get by with.
No, if you want clean, I mean, like Nate Bargatze's like the cleanest, biggest comic in my opinion you could find right now.
Okay,
he's
I do know the name. I don't know if I've watched it.
I mean, when he does stadiums, right? So last Sunday he played Allstate Arena here in Chicago. So he's huge, but he does shows that are like for family, and they're still hilarious.
Okay,
I saw him like 5 years ago at Zany's in Rosemont, and like it's insane to see like someone go from this room to like that stadium, whatever. But he's always been kind of like a little like kooky, like interesting way of seeing things, which is always great in comedy. But super clean. And the guys who like open for him, like he's like, you have to be clean. Like no nothing. Like there's no.
Well, I guess so. If it's kind of a brand, it's got to be. If it's he's promoting it as a family show. Yeah,
he wants as many family people to come because there's more family people than there are like
more people in the seats,
ne'er-do-wells or whatever. So it's like he's very good. Brian Regan also, especially his older stuff. If you've heard of him, he's been around a long time.
He's not local, is he? I went to school with the Brian. I'm just making sure because I know there is another Jim Flanagan who you went to school with.
Yeah, Jim Flanagan.
Yeah.
He actually.
I went to junior high with him. You went to high school with him, though.
Yeah. I saw him recently at Zany's Rosemont.
Wow.
He actually opens for a guy named, maybe not anymore, but or maybe yes, I don't know for sure. But this was like a year ago. This guy Pat McGann. Pat McGann is the opener for Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay.
So it's like
I saw him actually at the United Center.
Sebastian?
A couple years ago, never even heard of the guy. And I don't mean this. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything.
No, but that's crazy to be like, I don't know this guy, but I'll go see him at the United Center.
Yeah, my sister-in-law Heidi, she bought tickets just for like my wife, my sisters, and I don't know. There was like 6 of us. And we went out to dinner and everything, and I was telling people, I'm like, we're going to see Sebastian Maniscalco, and everyone's like, you don't know who that is? Well, he's local too, and
Arlington
I mean, like,
Heights,
So I mean, like, it was a great show too. I mean,
he's hilarious. A lot of his older stuff, very like physical,
the family stuff too.
Yeah.
Have you seen him recently though?
I
mean, like, it's nothing like he looks fine, but he was on the Bad Friends podcast.
Okay.
He's like orange. He's like Trump orange now. And it's funny too because their set is orange. And I think like he commented on one of the videos. He's like, dude, I'm blending in with the wall.
That's so
like,
funny.
Yeah.
No, he's very good. He's another guy, like you said, local. And like he was just a comedian for like 20 years. And then, 5-10 years ago, whatever it is, he really like blew up.
Like I said, I mean, I like legit never heard of the guy. It was just kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
So...
but so those 2 comedy specials, I watched them both. I mean, I'm probably going to have a lot of comedy specials on this thing going forward because I do watch a ton of them. There's another one, Ronan Hirschberg, just came out. He's like almost like Gilbert Gottfried, like loud and kind of like nasally, but and political and definitely not clean.
Yeah.
He's got a brand new one that just came out that's very good. But I mean, I can see going forward that I'm going to do a lot of those things.
Who's the
good or bad?
I've been watching some stuff. He's like one of the biggest comedians in the world. Oh, Shane Gillis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I finally he was another one I kept hearing. I guess he has a new show on Netflix that is very funny. I guess.
I think it's called Tires.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good.
Okay. But I was watching him, and I mean, like, I mean, like, he's just great to me because, you know, like comedians when they laugh at their jokes too when they're telling. I just love that it seems, even if it's like planned,
I hate
seems.
that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I love it because it seems authentic to me. Like he's actually like, I don't know. Sometimes it does seem planned.
I hate when they do it because it's like it's almost like you're trying to trick the crowd to like, this is
like you're
funny.
putting on like
you're like, this
the laugh.
is funny. You guys laugh too.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
don't. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know that's the case. Like anytime, if you've ever seen Dave Chappelle and he hits his knee with his microphone, it's almost like saying like, laugh now.
Yeah, it's the cue. Like you're
this
in
is
the
making me
studio
laugh.
audience,
Yeah.
and it's like laugh. Yeah.
I never like
Okay.
that stuff. I like guys who like. I mean, what the most extreme version of this is like Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah.
Who I don't know if we've talked about him on here before,
We have
but
not.
I've seen him twice in the last year and a half, and the show that I saw in Madison, Wisconsin is the best live anything I've ever seen in my life. He destroyed a room. This is not a band with instruments. This is not whatever you can do live. This is just a guy with a microphone.
Yeah.
And I mean, people were cannot stop laughing, which is insane. And his entire thing, there's no laughing at his own jokes. No. It's all serious. It's all
when
dark.
he even cracks a smile, sometimes you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
See, so
and he broke twice when we saw him, and he was so pissed off on stage because
hilarious.
he broke. He told everybody, he goes, "I got 2 jokes that I'm still laughing at, and if I laugh at them, I'm gonna be furious." And he laughed at both
funny.
of them. We celebrated
That's awesome. So like, I've never seen him live. I've just seen like the roasts and all that stuff, and obviously I follow him on Instagram. But is that pretty much what his set is? Just one story after another, just with a horrible ending? Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
or like the twist, you know,
it's
whatever.
a twist that you think you know is coming, and you are way off on where.
Or
it
you're
is.
trying to think, it's like, okay, this is gonna get fucked up, but no, okay, I didn't even see it going there.
Like writing a joke is really, really hard. Sit down and try to write a joke, and then try to write a joke that is
original.
Yeah,
or that,
exactly. You can come up with a joke, but it's probably already been done if you haven't written one before, right?
Like has that ever happened to you? Like, because
I know 99% of my jokes suck. You see all those? Those are all jokes.
Wow.
Not everything, but a lot of stuff in there. There's many notebooks over there of jokes, and I look back at this stuff and I go, "Oh my god, how did I not see that this is blatantly like?"
Yeah.
It's the first thing that comes to mind that everybody's writing. You know what I mean? If you have 10 people in a room, 9 of them are going to write the same joke.
Wow.
The same thing comes to their mind. And then you're like, oh, that's horrible. That's the best part about Jeselnik is like the master example of not knowing where the twist is. You think you know. Yeah. You think you know where it is. You're like, oh, this is... No.
He just, he picks the most random thing to it. It's just like... Yep, and it gets you every time. It's amazing.
It's the best.
He is good. Very good.
All right, well, let's get to the main event, what people are waiting for.
Okay.
This might be a 1-hour segment. This is our top 3 hip-hop artists of all time. Don't know how it made the bucket. Don't know how a lot of stuff made the bucket, but it made it somehow. So, top 3 hip-hop artists. Neither one of us are hip-hop people, per se.
No. But, you know what? We're probably making it seem like it's like, oh my god, you know, like if we were doing top 3 country artists, then I would be like, I can't answer this. Because you talked about it before, you're on one side, and it's like, yeah, I'm on the other side. I hate country music.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you, yeah.
Hip-hop, I like hip-hop. I mean, I don't actively put it on very often. However, you know what? I'll start this one. You start every
Well, the way that your voice went super high when you said, I like hip-hop, that doesn't mean it's a lie.
Okay.
You were just excited about it.
All right, you know what? So I'll start that, actually. Right. I'm going to start with Method Man from... Well, I guess he is from the Wu-Tang Clan, but he has also obviously made a name for himself as well. He, you know... Admittedly, I'm kind of cheating with this one because I'm going with him more as an actor.
Okay.
Because he's in The Wire, which is one of my favorite shows. He was in a movie called How High with Redman. Actually, Redman's got a cool voice, too. I like him.
I like Redman.
He'd be like an honorable mention. But, yeah, so Wu-Tang, going back to like as a rapper, I think he's got a cool voice. And I think even as an actor, I just think he's done that well. And I always respected him because... As far as, have you ever seen The Wire, or do you know what that is?
No, I keep trying to watch it, and I can never get into it. You've always told me it's the greatest show in the world.
I mean, it's funny too, because like The Wire is almost like before Breaking Bad, it's like pretentious people are like, you haven't watched The Wire yet?
Uh-huh.
Now everyone's like, you haven't seen Breaking Bad? But anyway, no, I just, like, when he got onto that show, he just talked about, like, I saw like a documentary or whatever about The Wire. Maybe it was just in between episodes, I don't know. But him talking about how he busted his ass to get on this show. Like, he didn't get it just because he's Method Man.
Okay.
Like, he, you know, so I don't know. I thought it was awesome.
So
Really,
it's more of an actor than for him being on there. Do you like any of his music?
See, I don't have any, like, I don't know any, like, solo Method Man stuff that I can think of. I mean, like, yes, I enjoy listening to Wu-Tang, and I know which one he is. I know his voice.
And does Wu-Tang make it on your list as a separate entity?
Probably not.
I mean, like, you have your top 3.
Yeah, no. I would, yeah, no, I wouldn't. I mean, Wu-Tang, though, isn't.
Okay.
I just don't listen to him enough. But, like, what I've heard, it's like, yeah, I know his voice.
All
So,
right.
yeah. So, yeah, Method Man's my number 3. How about you?
My number 3 is, I mean, it's almost embarrassing for all this stuff because
Is it Machine Gun Kelly?
I wish, but I mean, we're getting pretty close. I'm gonna go Eminem.
Okay, that's I considered it. I mean,
I do think he's one of the most interesting. I don't know what makes a good hip hop artist.
He's good.
Right?
He's good.
Like lyrically, they're on another level.
yeah.
Musically, a lot of it to me is like not. I don't want to say great. I'm not really into it. He has songs that I'm like, I love the music. I love the lyrics. I love all that stuff. It's catchy. It's like pop music almost.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's like a cool thing, but he has a new song, Abracadabra or whatever.
I haven't heard it.
It's like the Steve Miller band, like that
Oh
song.
yeah, Abracadabra.
And that's like
that's like
the
sample?
chorus.
Okay.
No, that's the chorus of the
I
song.
wanna reach out and
Yeah,
get that.
yeah. And it's got like 600 billion plays and streams and all that kind of
Well,
stuff.
he hasn't done anything in a long time, I think, right?
I would guess so. We are your number one source for hip hop, but I cannot confirm.
He was. What was he just at? He was at something for Detroit. Was it No, not the NBA. Oh, did that happen recently? The All-Star game, or
It might have been.
they were in Detroit for something, and
I remember seeing.
oh no, it was the draft, the NFL draft.
Oh,
Yeah, because
okay.
a lot of people were kind of like, oh, that's the rumor, and like the
and the
commissioner.
playoffs, right? He was at the playoffs because Detroit did well this year.
Well, but like
so-
this, but beyond this though, more
Okay.
recently, yeah, like Roger Goodell came out and a lot, he gets booed all the time, but then like all of a sudden it's like Eminem actually showed up and people were like, holy shit, like losing it. So it was cool.
I also didn't realize how much Eminem I know. I mentioned it before, like I do Peloton, like the treadmill and stuff like that, and they have people and they make their own playlists, and that's they're trainers and whatever, and so a lot of them have like lose yourself in the mood, and stuff to psych you up and whatever, and then you go, oh, and here's another one, and here's another one, here's another one, and then I go, let me listen to the CD. I used to have the CDs, and then I'm like, I still know the words to songs that I haven't listened in 15 years or whatever. You're like, yeah, I guess it's had an impact somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm my number 3. It could be interchangeable with all of these. I don't know.
My number 2 is Snoop, D-O-double-G. I mean, like, more so, like, just how this guy has kind of branded himself. I don't even know if he raps anymore. Like, and truth be told, I mean, like, the obviously his hit songs were the ones I liked. I think I owned, I think I had Doggy Style, actually, his first album. I think that's the only one I had. But I mean, like, another dude who just seems like a good guy, like, coaches his kids' football teams, stuff like that, like, is just, everyone knows the guy's fucking high out of his mind all the time, but it's like, hey, he's a nice dude. I mean, like, at least, I mean, I don't know. I didn't do research on it, so, I mean, if he's got a shady past, whatever.
I was going to say, like, I won't go as far as saying he's a good guy, because I don't know anything about him.
I'm just, he seems like a good guy, I'll say.
Yeah, he's obviously, like, we think he's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
He was our era of, like, I mean, when that stuff came out, anything with him and Dre, you were like, this is incredible.
Oh, everyone just busted their hats immediately,
It was
like,
the best. It's like great party music.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, I don't know.
That was junior high era.
He's also my number 2. So, could be my number 1. Yeah. These are all interchangeable, I think. But, like, yeah, definitely, like, I don't know, just easy to listen to. I don't know what makes a good hip-hop artist. I don't know. Like, it's a weird question for me because I'm not that much into it.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I like this guy from 1995 when I liked hip-hop.
I mean, he's a guy that kind of grew up with us, obviously. He's older than us, but I mean, like, still, we kind of got him when he started, you know? And it's like, granted, we don't follow his career, but it's like, hey, you know what?
No, and then you see him now, and it's like the stuff him and Martha Stewart.
That's what I'm talking. I just love
him
stuff
and,
like that.
Willie
you know?
Nelson. He is like the Willie Nelson of hip hop. It's like he's just been around this entire time. The music changes here and there, and then he's like, you know, coaching his kids, like you're saying, or he can be on any show at any time, and you're like, this works. You know, great, just personality in general. Number one, then, me.
My number one is Ice Cube. This isn't also another actor or a rapper turned actor, but no, I actually. So when the movie Straight Outta Compton came out, which is the biopic about the NWA, which have you seen that?
I don't think I watched that one.
I loved it. Like, I actually bought the Blu-ray for that, and I don't even buy, like, physical stuff anymore. But anyway, so Ice Cube, pretty much, like, him and then MC Ren, they get credit for, like, writing most of the lyrics, and Eazy-E got, like, so... And again, like, a lot of this is based on the movie, which is probably... So I'm not gonna... Actually, I'll stop right there. But I am just gonna say that it's, like, I really do enjoy him as a rapper. He has one of the greatest diss tracks ever called No Vaseline. And that was when, after he left NWA and they tried dissing on him, and then he just came back and, like, in the movie, actually, there's a very funny part with them reacting to listening to this new song. It's actually a really funny scene, but I mean, like, he killed them. And then, yeah, like, as an actor, I mean, he's in this movie called Trespass, which is the super old... It's got a lot of rappers in it, actually. I think Ice-T is in it as well.
Wasn't he in
the Friday movies too, obviously. I mean,
and that one with like an anaconda?
It's called Anaconda.
Okay, there you go.
With J-Lo and John Voight. So I mean, like, Ice Cube, I just, you know, he's been at it for years, and I mean, he's a fucking good rapper. And
well, that's funny actor. Because my number one
is J-Lo.
Includes Ice Cube, includes a group that Ice Cube was with.
Okay.
And is not NWA.
Is it West Side Connection?
It is West Side Connection. Ice Cube,
Mac look, 10. We don't know hip-hop.
Ice Cube, Mac 10, Dub C, The Gangsta, The Killer, The Dope Dilla.
Damn.
Obviously.
Ooh.
This is my favorite of all time.
Okay.
Their songs were hilarious and good. I love Ice Cube in general.
Yeah.
Like you. It must be a age, like something our age
I
thing
mean,
too.
Yeah.
But I don't know a lot of his other stuff outside of West Side Connection. Like, that's how into West Side Connection I was.
I mean, like, It Was a Good Day. Like, so, I mean, he's...
Well, I bought his greatest hits, but I never bought his previous album.
Yeah.
I bought his greatest hits, so that's like the song with George Clinton is on there.
Okay.
Like a bunch of, like, you know, obviously I know the hits, but the West Side Connection stuff to me is like my favorite stuff. I know they make fun of Cypress Hill. If you make fun of Cypress Hill, you're okay in my book.
Not a Cypress Hill fan, huh?
Nah, never really was. But also this like added to the flame.
Yeah,
I probably didn't have an opinion on Cypress Hill, and then I heard this, and I was like, yeah, Cypress Hill sucks.
Fuck Cypress Hill.
They're probably, like Snoop Dogg, very good people.
Yeah.
But yeah, West Side Connection was like some of my favorite stuff growing up. I almost wore a West Side Connection shirt to this episode. I just didn't want to give it away.
You want to be that guy.
But I do have a West Side Connection shirt, so that's one of my prized possessions.
It's like wearing like if you went to a Link 80 shirt wearing that, or a Link 80 show wearing that. Can't be that guy.
I could. I wouldn't, though.
Yeah.
Well, so that's it. So that's our top 3 hip-hop artists.
That was good, man. I think that was our best top 3 so far.
I don't know if I'd call it good. But
we made it.
We made it through. Yeah. Which means it is time for the bucket.
Yes!
That's right. The bucket is here. We don't have a new bucket yet. It's going to be a Rice Krispies box until we can come up with the funds.
Yeah, so we have $1 now. I figure with maybe like 6 or 7 more, we could probably get a bucket.
So what we're doing here, if you're new to the show, we're dropping this bucket and picking the top 3 list that we will talk about on next week's episode. So let's see what it's going to be. Look at this bad boy.
Look at how fast it's coming.
Look at this thing. The craftsmanship on this is beautiful.
I mean, when you think about it, yeah, it's just the design that went into it.
This is like the Tesla of buckets.
All right, we ready?
We should get a Rice Krispies treats sponsorship here. Yeah,
absolutely.
I support corporations.
Next week, our top 3 is...
If we choose to do it.
Recurring dreams. Is that a top 3 or was that a topic?
I think it was a topic. You know, we can keep it as a topic. We could talk about it, but not as our top 3.
Okay, yeah,
we'll
keep
start
that
the
in
show
mind, 'cause
talking.
that is
recurring.
interesting.
Yeah.
Nope. We have like a lot of stuff in here that's here. I'm just gonna grab like
some are pictures. Yeah, and so obviously we need top 3.
Okay, here we go. We got a good one.
Okay.
Top 3 game shows of all time.
All right, there
That's a
you
good
go.
one.
All right, so next week, episode 5, as long as Goff doesn't quit after episode 4.
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right,
You got me
good.
at least for one more. That's what my contract says.
Look at this bad boy. Solid.
Nice.